And here we go, back to Florus Book 1, Chapter 9. The medieval 9 there. The other book has a V with 4 eyes. So conversus, something is turned, and it's male, from the Gauls into the Latins, towards the Latins. With these two fellas, Manlius Torquato and Decius Miro, as consuls, so that's how they date their years. And so now we're dealing with the Latins. Always, indeed, from or by rivalry, emulation of empire, they were infestos, they were hostile. These people, the Latins, were infestos. But then, or then indeed, or truly, from contempt or despitement or something like that, of the burnt city. So there's been action here. The city's been burnt, and they're now in a bit of contempt, and they're angry about it. And cum ius civitatis, this is like the rights of citizenry and part of the empire. Here's the verb demanding. So the city's been burnt, and now they're demanding, or when they demanded, the right of citizenship and rule of part of the empire and of the magistrates. These are the official positions. Apud capuam. This is going with the Loeb version. The Latin library has some other thing that's a bit harder to understand. They dared, or there's a present participle version in one of the manuscripts as well. They dared to congredi, come together in battle. So at Capua they decided to meet these armies and have a battle. Quo tempore, in which time, quiz, who'd be amazed, who'd be astounded, who would be admiring one, that an enemy would have they would have ceded to an enemy. When one of the consuls, alter consulum, his own son, he's done something to his own son, because contra imperium, he had repugnaverit, he had fought back, or in this case he's disobeyed the official order, although he was a victor. he was killed. So one consul killed his own son, although he's a victor, but because he had disobeyed the order. And this would show plus to be more, plus there'd be more in following out orders, just in the victory that he did. So he disobeyed orders and won, but he needed to set an example by killing his son, that you should be basing more on the imperium than on the outcome, which in that case was victory. Alter. The other consul, alter, quasi, as if, by monitu, by the advice or warning of the deorums, of the gods, with his ablative absoluted head velato, so with his head covered, before the primum aciem, before the front lines, he devoted himself to the dis manibus. These are the underworld gods. Dis is gods. Manibuses are usually shades or whatever. With a purpose, so that, or in order that, into the most confortissima weapons, that's a superlative with teller, that's just, teller's the word for weapons, it's probably javelins or something here, of the enemy. Looks like he's chucked himself there, that's the say bit, as a novem iter, as a new way to victory. He apparated, he opened up in the path of his own blood. So that seems like a strange thing to do, but that's what he decided to do. Made a vow to the gods and went to where the most packed bit of the weapons were being thrown. Chapter X, 10. From the Latins, the next war, they agressus est, they attacked the gens of the Sabines, who immores, meaning being forgetful of the factae, or the deeds, the facts of their blood reliances under Titus Tatius, quodam contagion, so the contagion of war, they had joined themselves to the Latins. So what had happened was these guys had been fighting on the side of the Latins, it looks like. So the Romans had defeated them, and now we're going against the Sabines themselves. And they'd forgotten this earlier bond they'd had. Said, but with Curio Dentato the consul, or under him as consul, all the tractums, that's tracts of land, which the Na, the Enio, the springs or the fountainheads of Valenius, tenos as far as, which post positive to a singular ablative or plural genitive, as far as the Hadrian Mare, this is the Adriatic Sea or something, they devastated. So from that said bit here, but they devastated under this console all the tracts of land, which were this as far as that, with fire and sword. These are the implements that they used to devastate it. Qua Victoria, with this victory, or by which victory, so much amount of men and so much amount of fields were reductum into the power. They were driven back into Roman power, so that in ultro plus esset nec ipsi posset estima. So he who vicarated, he who won, was not nec, there's the negative, was not able to estimate which was more. There's the plus bit meaning more. So was it more of a gain that you'd won over so many men, or you'd won over so much fields or land? Not even himself, who won, could tell which was more in ultro. We'll scroll a bit. So 11. Dende then, or next, by the precabuses of the companions, by the prayers of the companions, they were motus, they were moved, not for themselves, but eo, speciosus, by this that is more specious or better to look at. They invaded the Samnites for their allies, for their Socius, which are allies. There had been a foedus, a treaty, with each side percussum, which means struck, but this, of the companions, was more sanctious, more of a sacred thing, and had been prior. In the past, they had given over in dedication, they had surrendered omnium suorum, everything of their own, which can mean people or possessions. Sic ergo. Thus, therefore then, the Romanus, the Romans, had a bellum samniticum, Samnian war. They gazetted, they conducted, just as if it was for themselves, tam quam sibi. Of all, not only of Italy, but of the toto orba, of the whole orb of the world, this is the most pulcherrima one, the most beautiful plaga, the most beautiful region of Campania. Nihil mollius calo. So nothing has a more softest type of calo, which is the heavens, the sky, or the climate. And in short, bis means twice, it vernat. There's a springtime twice a year with flowers. Maybe there's a bit of a, I don't know, some sort of occurrence that makes it seem like there's a twice yearly spring. Nothing to nowhere is the soil more uberious, more fruitful, you might want to say. Ideo. For this reason, liberi caris qui curtamen. It is said that there's a contest between libero and keros. This was usually Bacchus or wine, I'm guessing, and keros would be the crops or wheat. So there's a bit of a contest between if grape growing or wheat's better grown, I'm guessing. Nothing is more hospitalious, more hospitable than the sea, the coast. Hic illi, these noble ports or famous ports, Caeta and Messinas, the warm bay, bears place with its springs, or the hot springs. Lucrinus and Avernus lacuses, these will be areas of water, with a certain type of leisure time of the coast. So these lakes and the crops and the ground, everything seems to be very fitting. Hic, another one for here, with the vines, the vitibuses, amicti montes. I'm sure you could take that T out, and that's just an alternate spelling. So the friendly mountains, Gorus, Falernus, Massicus, and most beautiful of them all, Vesuvius, the imitator of the fires of Etna. So it's volcanic soil, which is probably contributing to the fruitfulness. The herbs to the sea, the cities to the sea, are Formia, Cumae, Putolia, I'm probably not pronouncing it right, Naples, Herculaneum, and Pompeii. And itself, the head of all cities, Capua. Quando once upon a time it was into the Tres Maximus numerata. It was calculated or counted as amongst the three greatest cities. And then we have these other ones in brackets, Rome and Carthage were the other two. Pro hack herb, pro this city in these regions, his regional bosses, the Roman people invaded Samnites, the Samnites. Agantam, a race, if its opulence you were to inquire about, Querus, with gold and silver arms, and discoloured vests, so it's multicoloured clothing and a lot of silver and gold, as far as ambitum ornatum. So the ambitum here is probably fourth declension. It means showy sort of things, and ornateness again. So they're really showing off with their gold and silver and clothing. Okay, so ambitus, show. It's also got bribery, cycles, canvassing. When you go around, that's you get the verb ambio to go around. I suppose you might get ambitious or something from it as well, maybe. Okay, where were we? If it's phallikiams, if it's deceits or something, you might want to say it's a type of way it does things. So by fraud, it does its grossantum, that's like highwaymen and robbery and killing, almost from little glades basically, and these are also in the mountains. So they do their attacking from passes in the mountains. It's one of these glades here. It's obviously used in Livy a lot as mountain passes, and so we have mountain referred twice. If it's rabium, if it's madness and fury you're talking about, with its sacred laws and its human hostia, which is human sacrifice, it's agitatem into the exitium of our city. So they're really moving to destroy Rome or something it looks like. And if it's pertinence or steadfastness, sexy. 6 times they have ruptoed the foederae, they've broken the treaties. And with cladobuses, which means ending for the disasters for themselves. And animaciorem, rather, looks like a comparative. So they've got a lot of spirit about it. So that's it.